Real-time strategy is stepping into 2026 with a wave of new titles, focused on large-scale battles, smarter AI, and deeper tactical control. From classic base building to modern warfare simulations, these upcoming RTS games are shaping up to deliver more strategic depth and variety than ever before. Let's get into it. Game of Thrones' War for Westeros is set across Westeros, where players control factions like House Stark, Lannister, Targaryen, or the Night King. They take part in large battles, using infantry, cavalry, siege weapons, and creatures like dragons and giants, while also managing armies and forming alliances. Players must deal with betrayal and changing situations, with both single-player campaigns and multiplayer matches across locations like the Wall and King's Landing, where outcomes depend on their decisions.
This is your legacy. You decide who wins and who dies.
D.O.R.F. Real-Time Strategic Conflict is a strategy game, where players choose between 3 factions and build large bases with factories, refineries, and defenses. They gather resources like oil, ore, and scrap to keep production running, while managing supply lines and logistics to support their armies. Players create forces across land, air, and sea, using tanks, zeppelins, and infantry, and use tactics like airstrikes, trench systems, and capturing enemy structures to grow stronger. Ashes of the Singularity II is a real-time strategy game where players control large armies across planetary battlefields and choose between human forces, the AI substrate, or the post-human coalition. The gameplay focuses on managing resources, positioning units, and launching large-scale attacks using a strategic zoom system that helps control battles easily. Terrain can change during fights, and the game includes a story campaign, instant action against AI, and both co-op and competitive multiplayer across the solar system. Dinolords is a hybrid strategy game that mixes real-time strategy, city building, and action RPG combat, where players control a lord directly while also managing a growing settlement. They gather resources, build defenses, and train armies made up of both human soldiers and dinosaurs that fight together in battles. The game also includes upgrading structures, units, and abilities, while players slowly reclaim regions of England through campaign progression.
To their will. Nights fell, villages burned, kingdoms broke, hope withered. But beasts can be broken and turned upon their masters. Bound together, steel and scale. Evolve your kingdom. Build your stronghold. command your forces, and breed a new type of warrior. For whoever controls the dinosaurs controls the battlefield. A new age is upon us. The age of Dinolords. Sign up for the club.
EverSiege Untold Ages is a strategy roguelite where players defend and rebuild Bastion while controlling a hero with different weapons and elemental abilities. They combine these powers with summoned troops to fight large waves of enemies, while experimenting with gear, essences, and unit types to create different builds. Players complete objectives, upgrade structures, and adjust their tactics across changing maps, with both solo and co-op play for up to 3 players.
In the grim darkness.
Total War Warhammer 40,000 is a strategy game that combines turn-based campaign management with large real-time battles across a galactic map. Players control factions like Space Marines, Orcs, Eldari, or Astra Militarum while managing planets, resources, and armies. Battles include infantry, vehicles, and heavy war machines. And players can use abilities like orbital strikes and artillery while customizing units and equipment to shape how fights play out.
Tides of aliens, traitors, and demons. Across countless worlds, battles rage. Lead your armies. Conquer worlds. Fight on as the galaxy burns. For there is no peace amongst the stars. There is only war.
Panzer Strike is set during World War II, where players command either USSR or German forces across large battlefields filled with thousands of units. The game focuses on tactical control without base building, using more than 40 types of military equipment with detailed damage and armor systems. Players complete non-linear missions in single-player or compete in multiplayer matches, where success depends on positioning, long-range firepower, and smart decision-making. Veil of Ashes is a real-time tactics game set in a dark steampunk world, where players control 3 factions and command infantry, steam-powered tanks, and large behemoths. Battles take place on destructible maps, and the gameplay focuses on capturing key points and earning reinforcement points to deploy stronger units and abilities. Players build armies from different unit types, and can play single-player skirmishes or join cooperative and competitive multiplayer matches. Front RTS is a strategy game with grand strategy elements, where players build bases, gather resources, and create armies using infantry, tanks, and aircraft. They manage territories on a global map that affects the economy and production, while planning actions in advance and reacting to events. The game includes a non-linear campaign, procedurally generated missions, technology upgrades, and unit progression, along with powerful faction-based weapons used in large-scale battles.
Build your army.
Global Conflagration is a strategy game where players build bases, gather resources, and produce armies made up of tanks, infantry, helicopters, and aircraft. They choose between 3 factions with different unit options, and use abilities like airstrikes and bombardments during battles. Systems like checkpoints, bounties, and refund mechanics affect how matches play out, with both skirmishes against AI and multiplayer modes with different team sizes.
Time to unleash the full potential of our force.
Systemic War is a grand strategy game set between 2008 and 2025, where players control a nation by managing the economy, diplomacy, and infrastructure. It uses systems like exchange rates and economic models, while armies move across a global map connected by real transport networks. Important battles shift into real-time strategy combat, with modern units, drones, and electronic warfare, where decisions made on the world map directly affect combat results. The Last General is a real-time strategy game where players command thousands of units across large maps while managing economy, logistics, construction, and production. They capture cities for resources, plan operations directly on the terrain, and control armies as one force during battles. Players can also take direct control of any soldier or vehicle in first or third person, across procedurally generated missions in both single-player and multiplayer modes. Corsairs Battle of the Caribbean is a strategy game focused on naval combat, where players control fleets from nations like France, Spain, Britain, Denmark, or the Netherlands. They manage ships, crews, and ports while fighting tactical battles that depend on positioning and ammunition types. Players can board and capture enemy ships, upgrade fleets and infrastructure, and take part in campaign missions or skirmish matches against AI or other players.
For the crown! La batalla. Fienen!
Immortal Gates of Pyre is a strategy game where players control powerful immortals who lead armies and influence battles with unique abilities and faction units. The gameplay focuses on building forces and using special powers powered by Pyre, while adapting strategies in both PvP and cooperative modes. Features like Build Assist help manage army production, allowing players to focus more on positioning, combat decisions, and unit control. Sudden Strike 5 is a real-time tactics game set in World War II, where players command over 300 units, including infantry, tanks, and aircraft, across large battlefields. The gameplay focuses on positioning, timing, and managing supplies, while capturing key locations like depots and bridges. It includes a 25-mission campaign and multiplayer modes, along with customizable commanders that provide different abilities during battles.
Galaxy lies shattered. The Blood Ravens stand alone.
Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War 4 features 4 factions, including the Adeptus Mechanicus, each with unique units and abilities. Players command armies across more than 70 campaign missions while managing resources and positioning forces in battle. The game also includes modes like Last Stand, Skirmish, and Multiplayer, where players can try different strategies and unit combinations to complete objectives.
Mechanicus priests pursue knowledge long forgotten. Ancient horrors awaken, claiming dominion over all. And something still stirs below. Buried deep, lost for eons, and never meant to return. We stand defiant. Cronus must not fall. And we are not alone. Is untold. Only one thing is certain.
Here Comes the Swarm is a survival-focused strategy game where players build and manage a settlement while gathering resources and defending against large waves of enemies. The game allows players to pause and plan actions, control units, and organize defenses more carefully. Players choose deities that give different powers and upgrade abilities using essences, with modes like Skirmish and Expedition offering different challenges. Sanctuary Shattered Sun is set on a Dyson sphere, where players build bases, gather resources, and control large armies with hundreds of units. They use systems like tech levels, production queues, and strategic zoom to manage battles more easily. The game includes powerful superweapons that can change maps, along with climate systems that can freeze oceans and open new paths, while factions have unique units and technologies. ZeroSpace is a sci-fi strategy game that mixes real-time strategy with RPG elements, where players act as a commander, managing a mothership and recruiting crew members. They build armies from different factions, units, and heroes while making decisions that affect the story. The game includes a campaign with missions and character interactions, along with a shared galaxy mode where players work together and fight across different scenarios.
Keep yourself alive, Chris. Whatever it takes, you hear me?
Just worry about yourself down there.
Anvil Empires is a massively multiplayer strategy game where thousands of players build settlements, gather resources, and work together to form large empires. The world is persistent. and gameplay focuses on logistics, supply lines, and building towns and fortresses. Players take part in large battles and sieges using melee combat and siege equipment, where success depends on teamwork, economy management, and long-term planning. Crimson Freedom is a story-driven strategy game set on Mars, where players build bases, manage resources, and command armies across different campaigns. The story shows different sides of a conflict, involving freedom, control, and AI-driven immortality. Each faction has unique units and technologies, and players progress through missions that shape the future through their decisions and large-scale battles.